Okay, guys, I'm gonna show you now how to bring in or insert slabs. So if we go to, let's do the surface bed first. So the surface bed is where your ground floor is basically on soil. So if I want to insert a floor, you'll still be in the structures tab. You go floor structural. So if you're a structural engineer, you'll draw the floor in the structural tab. If you're an architect, you'll draw it in the architectural tab. But in actual fact, at the end of the day, any concrete element is actually a structural element. But anyway, if you go here, you'll see all the preset Autodesk floors that they've generated. So I want to create my own. I'll go edit type. I'll go duplicate. And then I'll just change this to, let's call it 150 millimeter surface bed. And I say, okay, you go edit, and I say 150. Now you can also change your category. So what that is, let me show you. If you click there, it's basically, if I type in your concrete, it's the material of your element. So I call this concrete. I say, okay, it's concrete. Say, okay, and okay. So now here at the top, you're still within your creation of your structural model. So you can see there's all these different types of lines that you can use to draw your slab. I'll just use the rectangle because it's easiest. And just use that corner of the column, this corner of this column. Now what is important is you'll see there's one line that has this double line, one line at the top and one at the bottom. What this means is the span direction. So this would be important if you do your analysis from Revit. But for drawing purposes, if I delete that line and I draw in a new line like this, okay, it actually doesn't want to do it now. But sometimes when you draw your frame or your line, this span direction won't automatically pop up. So what that means is if I go to span direction, I must click on this and select the span direction. You can select any line. But if you don't have a span direction selected, auto Revit will not let you finish the function. It will tell you to choose a span direction. So just note that if you would draw a line and it does not give you the span direction. Let's just see. I just want to see something. It gives me the span direction again, but that's fine. But sometimes it does not. Okay, then I say, just before I finish, just make sure it's placed on the surface bed level, the level that you want. And you'll see here the structural box is ticked to make sure it's a structural element. And I say finish. Okay, so if I go to my 3D, let's maybe use the shaded option. Okay, now we don't want that to be that dark, so let's just change our material. You can see here the reason why it's dark is because of these colors. Let's just choose another concrete, let's say this one. Say that's more better, that's better. Let's see, okay, apply and okay. There we are. Okay, so now that we have drawn in our surface bed, we can now go and do our mezzanine slab. But you can do this in one of two options. You can either go to mezzanine slab, do the same procedure we've done previously, just say edit type, duplicate, call it a 255, millimeter slab. Edit. Just always remember to change your thickness. If you've already selected the material, you don't have to change that again. Say okay. I'm going to draw this. That. It's on the mezzanine level. Say okay. We go to the 3D again. You'll see it's on this level now. But the other way you can do this is if you want the same slab on the level above, which is the roof level, we can just click on the slab. You can say copy, say paste, align to selected levels. Now you can choose to which levels you want the same slab to be. I can say I want it on this slab and I want it on the roof above. So just press Ctrl on your keyboard and then select the second option. Say OK. And you can see how quickly it generates these slabs for you. That was quite easy. So now we can also draw in some beams. You go to beam. Let's just choose a rectangular beam. Okay, make sure you set this to the right level. We want to draw on the mezzanine level. Let's just go here as well. Placement plane. We want mezzanine slab. You can use structural usage. You can leave automatic. 3D snapping is okay. You can untick that. Then if we go back to properties, let's just make your justification the bottom. That means the bottom. If you place this beam now, it's going to use the bottom as your reference plane. Okay, then the justification is it going to be the origin, which is basically origin and center is basically the same thing for a concrete beam, but you can either choose left, will it offset to the left or offset to the right. So let's just choose left for this exercise. Then I'll go back here to the top to say pick lines. Okay, the reason I'm doing this is because it's just so much faster and quicker in 3D. Now if I zoom in here, I can pick the line where I want this beam to go. So I want it from the top of the slab to go upwards because I've already said the justification is on the bottom. So if I hover over here, it chooses the slab on the right side. If I say tab on the keyboard, it gives me the option of the line on top of the slab. And that's the line that I want. So if I click that line, it actually gives me the beam. Apologies, it's because it was selected on mezzanine slab. Let's just say roof above and roof above so you can just see it easy on the top. So let's just do that again. Tab and click. But now you can see the beam doesn't offset to the correct direction. So let's say Control Z. I'm going to take the left and change it to the right. Now if I hover, click tab, enter. There you have your upstand beam. Okay. Now if I do it, now if I say Control Z, there's even a quicker way. If I want an upstand beam for the whole slab, I hover here, I say tab and tab again. Now it's literally selected the perimeter of this slab and I click and there it generates our upstand beam for us. Just want to delete that one. Now you can do the same that you've done for these slabs. If I hover over this beam, I press tab. A moment, do it again, press tab, hover, press tab. Doesn't want to work with me now. Okay, anyway, does not want to work, but the other way you can do it is just rotate in 3D, highlight those beams, go and I say copy, say paste, then you say align to selected levels. I choose the roof which is the one below the roof above, and then mezzanine. Say okay. Yeah, I've generated all the beams on the perimeter. Okay. Then if I go back to, let's go to roof above. Let's go to that one, mezzanine. This is what I want to show you. You'll see there's this, if I click on this line, it's the span direction. It says if it's a one-way slab, spanning, or two-way slab. Like I said, this is used when you're more into detail with analyzing the slabs from Revit. But if this is bothering you and you want to remove this, just say VV on your keyboard, go to annotation, type in slab, or rather symbol, then say untick span direction symbol, and it removes that symbol for you. Otherwise, that symbol will print on your drawings. Okay. See you in the next video, guys.